What are you trying to do now? Are you trying to get Emmy off the show? Like, what's the goal here? Like, people are going to be
Right.
friends with whoever they want to be friends with.
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Southern Hospitality, Season 4, Episode number 3, An Olive Branch Served Dirty. I don't love that title.
It's just weird.
I know. We start out where we left off in Folly Beach, where Mia and Maddi just squashed the beef. We see Justin's flirting with Mia. Meanwhile, sleeping with her roommate, right?
Molly's roommate.
Molly's roommate, Jordan.
Yeah. And the producer says, "Aren't you currently dating Jordan?" And he's like, "Nah, I've never been a label guy."
I know. You know what? The more I see Justin, the more I don't like Justin.
Well,
I don't like the
I
way he
think
moves.
I don't like the way he moves. He's been on other reality TV shows.
Yes.
Like, it's giving Sally vibes from Southern Charm. And a multitude of other people. Like, who's the one girl on The Valley? We found out she's been on like 5 other reality shows.
5 other reality shows?
I don't even remember her name. You know what? I struggle with the names on The Valley. I call everybody different names. The friend of she's marrying the girl from Jersey, or she's from Jersey.
Oh, Jasmine. That's right, Jasmine.
Jasmine, yeah, she was on a couple of other reality TV shows.
Yes,
But,
you're
I mean,
right. She was.
she's a little different, though. She was already in that friend group, so she is
was.
actually a little different. But Justin, was on other reality TV shows. Says he was friends with TJ. I mean, was he friends with TJ?
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
Molly's sitting down talking to Grace Lily, and Grace Lily is so out there. She is talking about how she feels more at peace because she's with her tribal past, her roots, her ancestors. What?
I don't know.
I feel like every time she speaks, she's like on some kind of trip and she's bringing us along with her. Like, I don't know what she's
I
ever
agree.
talking about. I don't know what she's talking about.
I agree. I mean, remember we met her mom a couple of times, and her mom did give like a kind of like a, like a laid back, like bohemian vibe too. So maybe it's just the way she was brought up. But yeah, I agree with you. I think we're brought on a trip. That's a good way to put it. Every time she talks. Mm-hmm.
Maddi and TJ finally sit down to talk, and he starts by apologizing, which is the way to start this conversation.
Yeah, his demeanor is very different in this conversation than it was the night of the serving their party.
It absolutely
And I'm
is.
sure alcohol had, it elevates everybody's reactions.
Yeah, but he does seem empathetic. He apologizes. Maddi is grateful for that. She thanks him for it. But she said, I feel like this just gives me such a bad, like, deja vu, like PTSD. Like, she's trying to forgive herself. Because she really was hard on herself when she found out, she didn't believe Trevor. Like, she believed everybody else. And she blames herself.
I mean, I don't think the producers helped this guy at all either. I mean, they just allowed this to happen.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm not blaming the producers for this one because that's not their job, is to change the story. They did this on their own,
But well, unless Brad and TJ held it from everybody, like, it was a lie. That girl that they brought on, like, the whole thing was a lie. So, I mean, maybe the producers didn't know, but I don't know.
She said after making that PowerPoint, it did remind her, it helped her that they really were friends. And they squashed it there. Maddi asks TJ if he's going to be able to move on with Emmy. And he said he's just not ready yet. And then he goes on to tell her about one of his closest friends, meaning Emmy, called him a predator. When he was on this podcast, him and Will were asked if they thought that TJ making a move on Joe when he was blacked out drunk was a predator, if he actually did that. And listen, I think that those are bold statements. And when they do show the clip back, it wasn't Emmy and Will that made the initial statement. it was the podcaster. But
Right.
if you are friends with TJ and you've been friends with TJ for a long time, you'd say, I would no, absolutely not. You would just squash it right there.
So I agree. If he's really your friend, you should immediately be like, no, absolutely not. But what Emmy said was, I never thought of it that way. Nick Vile said TJ could have made moves on Joe when he was drunk. And Emmy said, I never thought of it that way. So, yes, I do agree with you that a friend would have been like, no, absolutely not. But think about what had just gone down. And I'm not defending Emmy. I think she should
Right.
have nipped it in the bud. I think that I don't even know if Nick Vile called him a predator. Nobody called him a predator. Certainly, nobody called him a rapist, which is what
No.
he says in this episode. I mean, talk about a twist of what was said.
Yeah.
Nick Vile said TJ could have made moves on Joe when he was drunk. And Emmy said, I never thought of it that way.
Right. That's exactly
But
what she
again,
said.
she could have just put the kibosh on the whole thing right away and said, no, absolutely not. And she didn't. But they weren't
Right.
in a good place. And he knew, I don't know. I don't know if she's the one he should expect to be defending him right now. But nobody called him a predator, and certainly nobody called him a rapist. I think TJ, well, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get the heat. I don't want the heat.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. So then, I mean, the whole reason that they're there is they're celebrating Bradley's 1 year anniversary with Julia. And Lake points out that she's not really sure of the timeline because she was making out with Bradley a year ago and they flashed to a shot where a year and 10 days ago,
They
Lake
were in
was making
Vegas.
out with, yes, she
Yeah,
was
they were in
making out with
Vegas for
Bradley.
Maddie's show. Yeah,
Yes.
that was
So,
interesting.
yeah, I guess maybe they're rounding, whatever. Or maybe they weren't serious yet. I don't
Right,
know. Who knows?
right. Maybe
Right?
they were involved, they knew each other, they were spending time together, but and I would count that as part of the relationship.
Yeah, I would too. Listen, I'm sure Julia's gonna see this and she's gonna have something to say about it.
Right, right, for sure.
Justin makes a toast and thanks Brad and Julia and hoping that everyone can make amends and move forward. Emmy says if everyone squashes their beef tonight, she'll actually have a shot because she has not had a drink in 2 years since she's been on her wellness journey. And I was like, okay, I don't know, like, why are you going for that? But whatever, that's what she
Maybe
chose
that's
to
the
do.
love language of this friend group,
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe that's
you
it.
know?
Okay, that's it.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
now they're
yeah.
gonna know I'm serious if I do a shot.
Right, right. And honestly, I mean, people said, "No, you don't have to, give up your sobriety." But she did it for herself. It wasn't that she was, had a problem.
Right, exactly.
S- So, Emmy starts by, saying, "I know a lot of shit went down, in February, and I know we like have our own versions of it. I hate where we're at." And Bradley said, "Well, like, do you acknowledge that you've done anything?" And Emmy's like, "To Maddie?" Like, Emmy had no idea what Brad was talking about.
No, she didn't.
I mean, totally no idea. And he's like, "No, like between our friendship, do you think that you've done anything wrong?" And she's sitting there. She's like, she couldn't come up with it. Emmy said, "Well, I really trusted you." And Bradley's like, "Well, where did I break the trust? Like, what did I do?" And she said, "Well, you didn't believe me last year when I told you what was going on with my relationship," meaning that she was saying that, her and Will were solid. You believe that my fiance 100% cheated on me. Okay, well,
Yeah, like
that's
she
not really
said, like, you
breaking.
went from being a groomsman in our wedding
Yes.
to
Yes. And I get that, she felt that way, but I don't know that that was so much breaking her trust. I think that's just how he felt about it. It's not like he was telling her how he felt about the situation, and I guess she
well,
was upset because he didn't respect what she was saying.
on national television. Like,
Right.
it's one thing for your friend to come to you and be like, "Listen, this is what I heard," but you're doing this on a public platform for the whole world to see that her fiancé may have cheated on her. Like, I think maybe that's where it is. It's like, you're doing this in such a public way. If you were really my friend, wouldn't you have just come to me off camera? I mean, as soon as the season started, Brad and TJ, I believe they are the ones who brought up the fact that Will came into Republic drunk and was just trash talking Emmy. I mean, Joe and whoever else were there were like, yeah, it did happen. But I'm pretty sure Brad and TJ were the first ones to bring it up and talk about it. So if you
Yeah, I
really
think
are
that
her
they were.
friend,
I think that
don't
they
make that a
were.
storyline because that's.
Yeah. He did say that he was defending her in the beginning. He goes, "But then at the end, when I started doing my own research and I saw, what was going on," he said, "and then when we went to New York and we were on stage and you were saying, like, you hope to get to a better place with TJ and Brad, but then up in Molly's room, I overhear you on the phone and saying all this shit." Like, that's really where it went south, I think,
Yeah, I agree.
with the unsafe comment. But the thing is, she was sticking with it. Like, she didn't understand how that unsafe could affect him. She didn't.
Yeah, so I think everybody has to be so careful with their words these days because I do understand what she was saying. It's not in listen, for me to say something like, she's dead to me, F you, I talk a certain way. You don't talk that way. So if somebody gets a text from me saying something, they
Right.
might be like, "Well, she's popping off." But if they got that text from you, they'd be like, "All right, literally what's going on? Like, is Wendy
Right.
okay?" So I
Right.
think that was Emmy's point. Like, that's not Brad. That's not his behavior. That's not how he talks about people to people, especially his friends. So I understand where she was like, maybe like flabbergasted when she saw his text message. But the word unsafe, and we had this conversation, for any male, especially a black male, this is his livelihood. He's on a TV
Right.
show.
Right.
You could get him
Right.
fired, along with many other things negatively that could impact his life from this. He's a physical trainer. He works for a gym. He works at Republic. Like, you're messing with his life and his livelihood by saying that word. But I think that's what it was. It was more
I
his tone in the
Yeah.
text message, and she was like, "Whoa, he doesn't talk like this."
Well, I'm glad you put it that way because I actually didn't see it that way. I was like, "Why is she not getting it?" But that would make sense if he like you said, it would be like me sending something like that. Like, I don't talk
For
that way.
sure.
Like, you'd be like,
Right.
"What's going on?" Right?
Right.
The thing is, when he told her how he felt about it and how it hurt him, she should have immediately been like, "Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Just
Absolutely.
apologize. Like, just apologize." And she doesn't. She doesn't. And then when we get into it later on, when she goes into her confessional and she doubles down on it,
I
when you
know.
had time to think about it, it's one thing in the moment and you don't realize it and you hear it for the first time, but to sit there in your confessional, I mean, we're not there yet, but I have to mention it now because it's just like it didn't seem genuine at the time, but I know after watching the whole episode, it wasn't genuine at all.
No, and even the phone call with her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Now she knows the impact that that word
Exactly.
had, and she's still moving on with it. So it's not
It's
good.
not
It's
good.
not
No,
good.
it's not. It's not. And Molly said, like, "Listen, I was in the hotel room directly next to yours. I heard everything that was going on." She's like, "It was her. It wasn't Will."
I think that's what happened. I think that Brad was in Molly's room, and Molly's room was next to Emmy's, and
Right.
they were sharing a wall and heard everything.
Yeah. And then Michaels interrupts and is like, "Listen, you can't say scared because that comes off as a microaggression." And
Yes.
Lake agrees, and Brad said, like, "What did you think I was gonna do to you?" Like, she's like, "I don't know." And then it turns out that, like, Brad was a little bit upset that Lake didn't chime in more, which again, I thought, I don't know. I mean,
Well, I think that I mean, you see Mia like, is that her new best TJ? Is that her new best friend? Like, I think they all now have an issue with the fact that Lake is friends with Emmy. But here's the thing, like, so what are you trying to do now? Are you trying to get Emmy off the show? Like, what's the goal here? Like, people are going to be
right,
friends with whoever they want to be friends with. Lake said her piece. She didn't agree with it. She thought it was wrong.
right,
But I think Emmy has extreme anxiety. You can see the way she leaves that room and goes outside and is basically hyperventilating, and I'm not
yeah, oh,
defending her,
definitely.
but I'm
No,
saying when
definitely.
you've seen somebody like that in
Mhm.
person, you can't help yourself but try to help them. So, I think Lake getting up and going to her, it doesn't mean she was picking a side. She just saw her in a very vulnerable state where she needed help. Somebody
Right. And
needed
I
to go help her.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And you're right. I think that they do have a problem that she is getting close to Emmy because
Yeah.
that comes
I
up
mean,
later too.
she needs to stop saying the word. She kept saying she was scared. It scared her. It was a text message. It wasn't anything physical. He
Right.
wasn't banging down your door. I understand being like, "What in the hell is this?" You weren't, I mean, scared, unsafe. These
Yeah.
words.
Yeah, there definitely are. They definitely are. So, yeah, she's out there crying, and then TJ goes out after her, right? After she calms down a little bit, and he says to her, "Sometimes the way that you feel about people is influenced by Will," which, of course it is. That's her fiancé that she
Right,
loves very much. Why wouldn't it
right,
be, right?
right.
It's
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
right.
TJ in his
What
confessional
how
said
about go ahead.
after the podcast, he got flooded with hate mail and Reddit threads about him. No, that's
This is a
concerning.
problem. That's
Right.
very concerning, and this is the problem, like, people, you can all be fans of the show, but threatening someone or, you know, encouraging them to hurt themselves, like,
Yes, it's
this is not
horrible. It's
okay.
horrible.
This is
No,
not
it's not.
okay. I feel a certain way about a certain housewife. If you listen to the show, you know who I'm talking about. Never have I once DM'd her, never have I once wished harm on her. I mean, that's not normal. That's not normal
No.
behavior.
No. No, it's not. It's not. And that, they say fame has its good side and has its bad side. But it's just mean and malicious.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's really horrible. It's the mob mentality, like coming after somebody that you
Yes.
don't even know based on what? Like again, we've said this before, like it's not that serious. This is entertainment, right? This is
Right.
entertainment. You shouldn't be
Right.
going after somebody personally and attacking them online that you don't even know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Then Joe Bradley's like, "Listen, I think we've done enough work here. Like, let's take a break." And I was like, "Oh, thank God." Bradley goes out and hugs Emmy, and they agree that they're moving forward.
Real
Emmy
quick
does a
before that, how
okay.
about when Molly brings up that at the reunion, it came up that, she says Emmy fat shamed her.
Yeah.
But it
Did you remember
turned
that?
out it was just, I don't remember that. No, I don't think they aired it. I don't think they aired it. It turned out that somebody commented on one of Emmy's posts and basically said, like, the big girls hate on the skinny girls or something like that, and Emmy liked the comment. Nobody mentioned Molly. Nobody said the word fat. They said big girl. Listen, I'm a big girl. People call me a big girl. I am a big girl. Like, I think that Molly was just, it was a little Sally from Southern Charm. She was just looking for a moment and needed a little bit of attention in the moment. I think Molly's, trying her best to get moments now because she doesn't work there anymore.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
definitely think you're right.
but Emmy did take the shot.
She did take the shot. Mia says cheers, and she announces her first night to being single, and everyone is shocked. But Justin is like, "Oh my gosh, I prayed for that. I prayed for that." I was like, Justin. Then all of a sudden, TJ and Michael start making out. Like, where did
Yeah, they
that
went to
come
some
from?
bar. They went to some
No,
bar. I
that
think
was in the
they
bar?
either went to a bar or they went, like,
Yeah, that was in the bar.
outside.
Yeah, no,
Right?
they
Was it a
did. No, they
bar?
did.
Yeah.
They walked to a bar. They
Yes. Yeah,
walked
yeah,
to a
yeah.
bar, yeah. Yeah, because they start doing, body shots, and that's where TJ and Michaels did make out, and Justin did the body shot off of Mia. I was like, "Okay, this was a bit much, but okay. They're in a good
It's
place. I'm glad to
so
see that."
1998, 1999. Like, I didn't even know people did body shots anymore, but apparently they do
No.
because they were doing it on Southern Charm too. But to
Yeah, I didn't
me,
know
it's,
that they
like,
did.
so, like, early 2000s.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
that's because that's when I was, wilding out in the clubs.
Yeah, maybe they're still doing they must be.
They must be. Either that or it made a great comeback.
Yeah, there
It's
you
the
go.
25th anniversary.
So then they're back at Republic and they're all getting ready for work. And Emmy's like, oh, it's good that me and TJ can work under the same roof. We just needed to have a progressive conversation. And TJ's like, I did not have a progressive conversation. I don't even accept her half assed apology. Again, I was like, okay, a little bit
Yeah,
of
but like
miscommunication
why
there.
didn't he say that then? Or was it just like Joe Bradley said, like, all right, let's move this along. We want to go do body shots. Like
I think that might be what
because
happens.
because he
Right.
didn't, yeah, I guess they did kind of end it like when TJ and Emmy were talking. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
Yeah.
he's got the right to feel any way he wants.
Absolutely,
But
he does.
say it and address it and don't have your snarky side conversations and confessionals.
Right.
But I
Right.
guess
Because
Emmy's
it's,
kinda doing the same thing too in her confessionals.
well, yes, she sure is. She sure
Yeah,
is. I really did like seeing Joe and Justin and Bradley working King Street and trying to bring people into Republic. I didn't actually know that was something that you do, but apparently it is.
I didn't either, but they did a great job.
Yeah.
Did
Yep.
you you didn't watch early Southern Charm. So, when you see that girl in that I think she was in a rickshaw and she's like, "Hi, Joe," and he's like, "Hey, Landon." Landon was on 1, maybe 2 seasons of Southern Charm very early on.
Okay.
She It was good that she left.
Okay.
It was good that she left. But yeah, it was I was like, "Oh my god, that's Landon."
Oh, that's crazy.
Mhm.
So Leva's there and she's, telling Joe that it's good that he's doing this, but this is, you got to be consistent, Joe. You can't just come in here and
Mhm.
get a few people in. You got to show up here every day for 8 or 9 months and be the best Joe you can be. So we'll see. I have a feeling, I'll be honest with you, I have a feeling he's gonna wash out. I don't really think he has it in him to be consistent. I just don't. I don't.
I think no, because you know what? You can't even blame it on the Maddie thing. Because yes, he's traveling around with Maddie, but remember first season, like, he wakes up, it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they're like, "Joe, we had a staff meeting at noon. Where were you?" And that was
Yeah.
before he was
Yeah.
dating Maddie. So, I think you're right. I think this is just his work ethic at this point. I mean, it's also an age thing and a maturity thing, so we'll see.
But wait,
Maybe
didn't he
he's gonna
say he's
surprise
gonna be
us
30?
all.
Isn't his big thing is he's gonna be 30?
Yeah. I mean, but
I mean,
this is how Craig on Southern Charm was, like, he was the worst, always hungover, not going to work, and he was a lawyer, and look at him now, like, he's running a
was he
business with a
actually
team.
was he actually a practicing lawyer? Like, was he going
He
to a
wasn't a
law firm?
practicing lawyer because he never passed the bar. He
So
wasn't a practicing lawyer, but he went to law school. He was a JD. He wasn't an ESQ.
okay.
Yeah, but he was working
So
in a law firm and not well. He wasn't doing it well.
right, which is probably why he didn't pass the bar.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Charleston's like a Peter Pan town where these guys just don't wanna grow up.
Well, I mean, it that could very well be, and that's honestly one of the reasons I stopped watching Southern Charm is I just got sick of seeing these man boys live their life this way, and I was like, "I just
Yeah,
can't watch this," and I kind of feel like this one is gonna go that way too. I mean, I
yeah.
didn't realize how old TJ was. TJ, what did they say?
My gosh.
TJ was born in 1990 and Michaels was born in 2002, so he's in his 30s. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
there's a big
crazy to
age
me.
difference.
I think he's 34 and, like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
So, again and,
yeah,
we were, like, oh, so excited that he got a wiener truck. Okay, well, he's 34 years old, still bartending, right?
yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do it, Charleston seems like the town to do it. Like, if you're gonna make a career out of bartending, like, that's
Yeah,
clearly a good place to do it. But,
and there's nothing
yeah.
wrong with making a career out of bartending. There's nothing wrong
No,
with it.
of course not, of
I mean,
course not.
it's good money. It's absolutely
Yeah,
good money. And if
yeah.
you enjoy that environment, then great. What about the scene where Joe's washing his truck?
Hysterical.
My god.
Hysterical. I loved it. He's like, "There's only one thing that could make me cheat on Maddie,
My
my
truck.
truck." I thought that was hysterical.
So then we see Emmy on FaceTime with her sister, um, and she's telling her sister how everyone is coming for her.
Which is not true. Maddie is proving to be a very good friend to Emmy right now. So
She
she
really
should
is.
and Lake. So
Mhm.
don't, those are way too general statements.
Yeah. I mean, and then she admits that she just apologized because she didn't want to talk about it. Okay, there's that. Okay. And she said TJ tried to have a conversation with me at dinner and he was kind of combative and I told him he needed to chill. She's like, she did say, but I don't think TJ's a predator. I just don't think he's being appropriate with going after a straight man.
She
Okay.
said, "I don't think he should hit on drunk straight men." So it sounded to me like maybe she's witnessed other things, not just heard the Joe Bradley story. That's how I took it, but I could be wrong,
I didn't take it that way. I took it as her just like
just
doubling
about the Joe
down.
Bradley thing.
Well,
I mean, either way, she shouldn't have said it. I think we could
right.
both agree to that
Yeah.
because
Yep.
you did just apologize to him, and now you just said
Right.
something else accusatory.
Right.
I thought the way she said, "I just don't think he should hit on drunk straight men." I was like, "Oh, well, that sounds like maybe he's done that before." But listen, there's no crime in hitting on someone. There's no
No.
crime in flirting.
No, no, there's not. No, there's not. Then we see Molly's having a girls and gays pajama party night. That was an interesting party.
It took a hard left at some point.
It did. It did. Well, I mean, listen, I think, Grace Lily came in with like a chip on her shoulder. She was already mad at Maddie. And I get it. Like Maddie's why am I supposed to tell you that it's a pajama party? Like, why am I responsible for you? And not for nothing, but I thought what she had on looked like a pajamas. Like it was like a slip dress.
It was totally fine, and even, like, what she said about when they were in the Follies, like, when she asked Maddie first of all, we are adults, and I'm gonna tell you something funny, listeners. Wendy and I went to brunch earlier today with our friends, not knowingly dressed exactly the same, not
Right.
knowing. So, I just wanted to say that before I say what I'm gonna say next. These are grown women. What do you care what your friend is wearing? You are a grown woman. Grace Lilly has beautiful style. She's a beautiful girl. Wear whatever you wanna wear. You know where you're going. You know what the atmosphere is. Just get dressed. And who cares what Maddie's wearing? I
Right.
mean,
I know
I
it's
get
so
her point, not knowing that it's a pajama party, but that's on Molly. That's not on Maddie.
right. The event planner, I might add.
Listen, I have it in my notes. Like, I'm not hiring her to plan any party. You
No.
forgot
Not
to tell them that it was a
right.
pajama party.
Forgot to tell all of them. Some of them knew.
Right. Right.
I did like when they were all sitting on the couch together and, like, hanging out, and they ask a question like, "What is your ideal type?" And Lake said, "Well, her type is a bad bitch." I was like, "Okay." And Mia said that she likes a guy with a humongous S. I didn't see that one coming. I really
I didn't see that
didn't.
coming either.
I was like,
I loved when Maddie was like, "I've dated this guy, I've dated this I've dated a cartel member." I'm like,
right.
I would imagine that was in her party days before she became sober. Maybe not, but I'm just
Well,
guessing.
I'm sure it probably was. Then Lake says, "Well, who here has done anal?" And a couple of girls they like raise their hands, and one of them's like, I did." I'm like, "Wait, that's who said
2 of them
accidentally?"
were like, "By accident." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm
No, that's not an
sorry.
accident. It doesn't act
That's
that's
not
an
an
accident.
accident. That's something
My
you
gosh.
prepare for."
Yes, exactly. And TJ said Molly thinks a big penis is 5 inches. Michael's in his confessional. He's like, "That's like my finger. Like, can you feel that?" I mean, I definitely was laughing. And then Molly's sitting in there in her confessional, and she says to the producer, she's like, "Is this 5 inches?" And the producer's like, "No,
Oh
that's longer than 5 inches." And she's like, "Oh,"
my
so
god.
Molly has no idea what 5 inches is.
So funny.
Then they start grilling. Well, TJ says, ask like, why didn't Emmy come? She's like, well, I don't know. Mia's like, well, you guys are besties now. She said, well, yeah. She said, well, how did that happen? Well, she's like, all of a sudden, like they made up, right? Because they were giving her a hard time. They made up. And then she's like, I read her sign and it said, literally told me on my app, we have a great friendship that can bloom. And then we started hanging out and it's been great. Again, something so much Grace Lilly would say, right? Which is exactly what
Yeah,
Maddie said.
and
Like,
did you just notice how TJ and Mia kept looking at each other? They kept, like, making eye con like, it was so childish, very immature.
yeah, I'm not a fan of the TJ Mia friendship.
Me neither.
I think it's they're just mean girls together.
Yep.
I
And
feel that way about.
unfortunately, I think Brad gets wrapped up in it. Like, I feel like if Brad I mean, I think that the Brad thing with Maddie was retaliatory, we've established that. But the thing with Emmy, I don't think Brad would have jumped on that bandwagon so much so if it weren't for his friendship with TJ, and really Mia, like, she was part of that too.
And it's funny because Mia doesn't work there but anymore, but yet she's there all the time,
And the
right?
thing is that, like, what do you want from Emmy and Will? What if he did cheat on her? And what if she accepted his apology and they chose as a couple to move on? Like, you're exposing that on this show. We don't see TJ dating anybody. We don't see anything about TJ's personal life. We don't see well, we did see a couple of things about Mia's life. I guess Mia's actually she is, like, forthcoming with what's going on in her life. But it's like, what the hell
Right,
is TJ showing? That he feels it
right.
necessary to expose their personal business that maybe they've moved on from and got over it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree that they shouldn't, they shouldn't be coming after others just because they have nothing going
Yeah.
on, right?
But I liked how Michaels was like, "All right, let's talk about something else." Like, he
Yeah, I'm
kind of
bored.
put yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then Grace is like, "Yeah, I'm bored too." And Maddie's like, "Well, you were just talking about it." And then Grace lost it. She's like, "Shut the F up. You're annoying." I was like, "Where'd that
I
come
already
from?"
have a problem with you.
Yeah.
I think that Grace is jealous of Maddie. I think that in the first season, we learned that they used to be very, very close. And I think that once the show started, I think Maddie started getting a lot of attention and Grace was, not working at Republic anymore. So something must have happened, like outside of the show with her employment at Republic. And I think
Yeah.
Grace is envious
Yeah.
of Maddie.
I mean, that could be it. I just honestly, I think it just may be a substance abuse issue as well, to be
Yeah.
quite honest with you.
Yeah, or some kind of mental health issue.
Yeah, I think it could be both. I think it could be a
Yeah,
combination of both.
right.
And I think that Maddie has been a good friend to her. I think Maddie has been a very good friend to her, and I don't think that Grace I don't think she sees it. I mean,
Right.
Maddie even said, she said, "I don't feel like you're reciprocal. I don't feel like, I don't feel like you're there for me." And I think that she's right. I definitely think she's right.
It's sad.
I mean, I even wrote that down. I feel like, Grace is under the influence of something because she wasn't making sense. Like, she just wasn't
Yeah,
making sense. And I don't know. I think that she needs help, to be honest with you. I think Grace Lilly needs help, and I hope that she can get help. I hope she
I
can get
agree.
help because I think
I love
it would
her.
make for a
I think
better.
she's
I know you
adorable.
do. I think she's adorable too. I think she's got a very free spirit, which I love
Yeah,
a free spirit, but I think that
absolutely.
I just think she needs a little help. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. We're praying for you, Grace Lilly.
Yes, we are. I don't have anything else about Southern hospitality, do you?
No, no,
Okay.
we're gonna watch Southern Charm. We're gonna do, pod after both reunions air.
Yes. So until then, thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe and give us 5-star reviews. Bye.
Bye.